seated on the mat. Okay, we're gonna take it back now. So sit up nice and straight, hands on your thighs, and we're gonna roll back into our C curve and then come all the way up to straight spine. Tuck the chin, roll back, creating that C with our spine, and then inhale back up. Exhale, scoop, roll back, keeping your hands on behind your thighs. Inhale back up. Scoop and roll back. Inhale back up. And as you get warmer, you can go back a little bit further and maybe take your hands off and add a little pulse here. Up and down, up and down. Keep those feet planted flat, and then we're gonna lift our arms and lower them. Lift them up overhead, lower them down. Rounding at the top, and then straightening out down towards your knees. Up and down. And little pulses again, second set. Stay in that C curve, don't come up. Lift those arms, lower them down. Second set, feel those abs begin to shake as you lift those arms up and then lower them down towards your sides. Lift and lower. Nice job, come all the way up, and then we're gonna do our Pilates roll down to our C curve and come up. And we're gonna reach to the side, reaching back behind you, getting into those obliques now. So you're coming into your C curve, and you're just gonna go ahead and reach back behind you and then back in front. Alternating sides, starting to get into those obliques now. Those side abdominal muscles that really help posture, good, strong core, and up. Now this time we're going to roll all the way down into the mat. So tuck your chin, roll it down one vertebrae at a time, not letting momentum take over. And then lift your feet up into a tabletop. Knees are directly over your hips. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Extend your legs, and we're going into our 100. So you're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Strong arms, pulsing down. Short, sharp, percussive breathing. Pull those abdominals in nice and tight to your spine. And if you need to modify, you can bend your knees back into tabletop. The more advanced option is to keep those legs straight. Keep that chin off of your chest. Lift up a little bit higher if you can. Keep pulsing those arms. Keep breathing. Short, sharp, percussive breaths. You can do this. And come all the way down. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and sit all the way up now. And lift those toes up off the mat. Bring your hands into a prayer. We're going to extend those legs out, leaning back, and then pull everything in together. Extend, pull in. Extend, pull in. So you're extending those legs just above the mat, hovering them, keeping those hands off the ground, not letting them down to support you. And you lean back, feeling those abdominals contract, and then you pull everything in together. Now let's go ahead and cross one ankle over the other, and you're going to go ahead and twist towards that top leg, twisting the elbow towards the knee, bringing that other elbow down towards the mat, keeping those hands in prayer. Feel those obliques firing up. Now let's switch sides. Switch the leg that's on top and start twisting towards that top leg, drawing one elbow down towards the mat and the other elbow over towards your knee. That's it, keep going, maintain good form, and then drop your feet onto the mat, bring your hands in front of you, slowly tuck your chin and roll down, Pilates, roll down. So you're all the way flat on your mat, lift your legs into the tabletop, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and we're going into our single leg bent knee stretch. So you're just gonna bring one knee in towards your chest, straightening the other leg out along the mat, hovering it off the ground, switching side to side, alternating the leg that comes in and lightly tapping your hands on the knee and the ankle of that foot that's coming in towards you. Keep that head, neck, and shoulders lifted up off the mat. Modification though is you can drop it down if you need to. Keep pulling those abs in nice and tight, switching side to side. And then bring your feet back in the tabletop. We're going into our double knee bent leg stretch. So you're going to extend, bend. Extend everything out, bend the knees, sweep around towards those ankles. Extend, bend. So arms go overhead and then they sweep around, coming towards those ankles as the legs come back in. So the legs are just going out and then back in. So everything extends and then everything comes back in. Keep Keep the head, neck, and shoulders lifted throughout the move. Nice job. Go ahead and relax down the mat for 1 minute. And then extend one leg straight up and the other one hovering. We're gonna switch, switch. This is our straight leg stretch, also known as scissors because our legs are scissoring. One leg comes in and the other leg extends out. Keep the head, neck, and shoulders lifted, grabbing behind the calf as you switch. Switch, point through those toes. Use control in that core to switch those legs, extending them long and as straight as you can. And then bring those toes up towards the sky. We're gonna lower both our legs down towards the mat and lift. Lower down and lift. Our head, neck, and shoulders are rested down on the mat, and you're lowering those legs as far as you can. Now you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders up if you wanna take it up a notch and advance the move today. Keep lowering those feet down toward the mat. Keep pointing through the toes and lifting. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Now you don't want your lower back arching off the mat, so if that's happening, don't take your legs quite as low. And then bend your knees in, extend one leg out, bending the knee, and we're gonna cross the opposite elbow to that knee that comes in, switching side to side. This is our crisscross, getting those obliques again, switching side to side. That's it, keep going. Okay, as you're doing this crisscross, I want you to make sure you're using your abdominals to switch from side to side and not momentum. And think about lifting your shoulder towards your knee instead of your elbow to really get that twist in the side to wring out those obliques. Now go ahead and rest down on the mat, extend your legs long, flex your feet, bring your hands overhead, and we're gonna curl up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, coming to straight spine, and then reach our hands forward over our toes, coming back to a straight spine, tucking our chin, and rolling down slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bringing our hands over our head. So this is our roll up, coming up slowly to a straight back, and then leaning forward, reaching those hands long over past your toes, coming up, and then coming straight back down. You want to keep those legs glued to the mat. Don't let them lift up off the mat. Coming up, reaching forward and up, and then come all the way back down. Nice and slow. Don't roll through it here. You want to really engage those abdominal muscles here and make them do the work. Reach forward, feel a nice stretch. And then let's go ahead and stay seated. Bring our feet as wide as the mat, and we're going to go to a seated saw now. So you remember we did this in the warm-up. It's the same thing. We're bringing our fingertips to the outside of our flexed foot, reaching over and across, working through those obliques, stretching out the back of our legs. Opposite fingertips to the opposite toe, keeping our arms long, our shoulders down, our back is straight, sawing forward and up. That's it. Reach long and then come all the way up. Inhale, exhale, saw. Inhale, up, exhale, back to center. Nice job. Bring your feet flat on the mat. Now bend through your knees, lift your toes up, and we're going to go into rolling like a ball. So you want to tuck your chin and roll back onto your spine and then come back up to a seated position. Your fingertips are rested lightly on your shins, and you want to keep your body nice and tight and let those abdominals help you balance. Now if you want to take it up a notch, you can always take your hands off your ankles. Nice work. Let's go ahead and straighten our legs, flex our feet, and we're going to do a spine stretch here. So straight spine, and then round through the upper back, reaching our fingertips long towards our toes, and then straightening up. So the work here is in the upper part of our spine, rounding forward and then coming up. Great job. Okay, let's go ahead and sit on our tailbone, grab our ankles, and we're going to start lifting one toe up off of the time. So your toes are pointed, lightly resting on the mat, and you're just lifting one leg and lowering it down. So we're working on balancing. This is our prep for open leg rocker. Let those hands help you extend your legs up, and now let's do both legs and balance. So lift both legs, pulling those abdominals, straight spine, and just balancing. So the legs are apart in a V. Your hands are on your ankles. You're keeping the spine long, the chest proud, but not arching through the back. Now we're gonna add the rock here. So this is our open leg rocker. You're rocking back on your spine, but not going onto your neck, holding onto your ankles, keeping your legs straight and trying to balance with a straight flat back when you come up. It's really challenging, so don't be discouraged if you don't get it the first time. This is always something you can work up to. Bring those legs together and lower them all the way down onto the mat. Fantastic job. Bring your hands behind your thighs now. Lift your toes up off the mat and then extend your arms down by your calves. We're gonna lift and lower those arms up, balancing here. Legs in tabletop, toes pointed, knees together. Okay, now let's go ahead and hold on behind our thighs, and we're gonna alternate lifting one leg, straightening it, and then lifting and straightening the other leg. So we're going into our teaser press. Let's do both legs here now, bending them and straightening, keeping those arms straight down beside you, or you can hold on if you need to. Come all the way up, and let's do our Pilates roll down onto the mat. All the way down, nice job. Lift those feet into tabletop, and then bring your hands behind your thighs and pull yourself up to a flat back seated position with the toes off, and then round, coming all the way back down. So you're just practicing coming up to a seated position, balancing your tailbone, and then rolling all the way back down, keeping those feet lifted up off the mat. This is a really intense move for your abdominals. This time, let's try it without holding on. So take your hands off, and you're gonna come all the way up, balance, and then come all the way back down. Remember, we're not rocking here, no momentum, it's all in the abdominals. Now we're gonna go ahead and practice lifting one foot up at a time, and then roll all the way back down. Come up, extend both legs this time, bend them, and roll down. Fantastic job. Doing this teaser here, come up, extend the legs, bend them, roll back down. Try to keep those feet lifted, don't let them come down onto the mat. Really work through that core here. This time, can you lift your arms up, lower them, bend your knees, roll all the way back down. Peel yourself up off the mat, extend the legs, extend the arms, lower them down, and roll all the way back down. Okay, extend those legs, extend the arms. We're going to full teaser, coming all the way up, flat back, reaching those hands on towards your feet, and then coming all the way down. Try to keep those legs straight down instead of bending them into the top. You're taking those hands overhead and then reaching them up towards the feet. Don't rock here, but just use those hands to help you lift up, flat back, lift those hands overhead, lower them down, and all the way up. Fantastic, that was really tough. You did a great job. Let's do our Pilates roll down, coming all the way down, laying on the mat now, hands down by our side. Taking our feet about hip width apart, we're going into our bridge here, lifting our hips up off the mat, and then lowering our feet down, just hovering right off the mat, peeling up so that we're in a nice diagonal line here from our knees to our hips to our shoulders, and then lower your feet. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Keep those feet planted flat onto the ground. Squeeze those glutes as you lift those hips up in that nice straight diagonal line. Keep those hands glued into the mat, shoulders down. Don't roll onto your neck here. Lift those hips, keep a nice strong posture in that upper body. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Now let's pull it here, little pulses up, up, up. Pull those hips up to the sky. Squeeze those glutes each time you pulse. Keep going, you can do it. Lift, pulse, pulse. Holding here, isometric hold, and we're gonna go one hip side to side, rocking those hips, keeping those hips lifted, just tilting one hip up to the sky and then the other. And then let's go ahead a little bit faster, side to side, lifting those hips and lower all the way back down onto the mat. Nice job. Okay, let's hold that bridge. Take the leg that's closest to me. You're going to bend it in and then extend it to the ceiling, and then go ahead and switch legs. So just picking the leg up, extending it straight to the ceiling, bending it, and facing it down. Alternating sides, keeping those hips lifted and still in that bridge position, keeping the hips even. Bend and replace. Bend, extend, bend, place down. Switch legs. That's it. Pointing that toe up to the sky, relaxing your shoulders. This time, let's keep that leg extended, and we're gonna lower our seat down and lift up. Keeping that one leg lifted, toe pointed to the ceiling, driving through our heel on the supporting leg. Hold those hips up there, pulse it out, little lifts, up to the sky, lift it. Now flex the foot, extend down, and then point back up. Extend down, point back up. Lower that leg to knee height, and then point, lift it back up to the sky. That's it, keep going. Lower, lift up. Replace that foot down. Let's switch sides. Extend the toe up to the ceiling, and then lower the seat and squeeze up. Lower, squeeze up. Keep pointing that toe up to the sky. Keep the weight even in between your hips, and hold up there, little pulses. Lift, lift, lift. Try to get that toe to touch the ceiling. Now lower, lift up. Lower, flex, point, lift. Lower, flex, point, lift. Lower that leg to knee height, and then point, lift it up high. Keep those hips nice and still. Lower, point, lift. Flex, point, and replace that foot down. Lift those hips and lower them all the way down to the mat. Then go ahead and lift your heels up off the mat, and we're going into another set of bridges with our toes sinking into our mat, our heels lifted. And we're just lowering and lifting those hips. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. That's it. Squeeze through those glutes, little pulses, lift, lift, lift. Keep going. Keep those knees nice and even. Hold it up there, and then come all the way down. Hug those knees into your chest and give yourself a little back massage, rocking side to side, and then sit all the way up.